welcome back to Confessions of a Queen, episode 2. I am Angela.
I'm Jess.
I'm Steph.
And I'm Annie.
Today, I am really excited for today's episode. We will be talking about mental health as well as work-life balance and
Or lack thereof.
Cries on the inside. So work-life balance and also how we manage, negativity as well as trying to keep ourselves positive through this big journey. So I don't know if you want to start off. I know this is a really deep conversation for you.
Yeah. So talking about mental health, I feel like this is all we could talk about for all episodes, and we would never run out of content and run out of things to talk about because there's so much that encompasses mental health, especially as it relates to work-life balance and as it relates to being a woman in business, being a mom like you, Jess, and just dealing with the challenges that everyday life in 2021 that we face.
And 2020.
And 2020 especially, absolutely.
Rough year.
Yeah.
Whew, what a year.
What a year is right. So,
I spent most of the 2020 year trying to just put my feet in the grass and tap my chest as quickly as I could to calm down.
Grounding.
Deep breaths.
yes.
I just was wandering around. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
What is happening? Yes, that is so true. And I think so many people can relate to the mental health challenges that 2020 may have stirred up for a lot of people. And that's something that I don't think has been talked about nearly enough. The past 12 months have been so hyper-focused on COVID, understandably, and the presidential election also understandably. But I think that leaves a big void for something that should be talked about, and that's the mental health of a lot of the stuff that COVID caused, and the presidential election caused a lot of anxiety for a lot of people. So
on top of daily life.
Life. Absolutely.
And now building an empire.
Yes, absolutely.
Wait, what? That's what we're doing?
Yeah. Did you know that? Brick by brick, my friend.
I'm so scared.
Crying on the inside, like you said.
Every day.
Yes. So this is a topic, like Angela said, that has been really close to my heart because I have struggled with mental health personally quite significantly through the years. Especially this past year, I felt like it came to a head and had developed into something that I needed to handle for my own safety, to be honest. So that's when I finally decided to take action on that. But I also want people to know and to understand that just because you have mental health struggles, that you can still do really important, beautiful, amazing things.
You can do hard things.
Yes,
Yeah, we can
absolutely.
do hard things. Shout out Glennon Doyle.
Even if
Glennon Doyle, love you. I hope you're watching this.
Even if it takes you all morning to get out of bed, you can still be productive.
Absolutely.
Even if it's one thing.
Make your bed. That's one thing. At least you did that, swept or did the dishes or cleaned your counter. Like if you just start, then at least you did one thing.
Yes.
And you're not going to bed that night going, well, I'm trash because I didn't do anything.
Yeah, because that can spiral out of control so quickly as well. Those feelings of unworthiness, of not being enough, not being perfect. I think perfectionism in today's society can be brought on from a lot of trauma, and which has definitely been the case for me, and also societal trauma. I don't know if that's a thing or if I just made that up right now.
No, I think that's a thing, especially for women. I mean, this conversation, like, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, especially, this week was International Women's Day, was on Monday, and just I kind of have continued that conversation in my head with myself about how much growing up we just get told or expected of us, or, that's just the way we see things. So we think that's the way it is as women in regards to home life, work life, mental health. We just, and I talk about this with my therapist, take on, like, as like a mother figure, you take on the negativity of your children. And I feel like as women, we are expected to do that for everybody sometimes. And it can be very challenging. I'm sure you guys feel this, but I do a lot, especially lately, as like managing people. to not let their experiences and their emotions like affect you too much.
Yeah. Not holding on to emotions that aren't yours to hold on to and to carry. So easy to do, especially as women, as natural caretakers, I would say. It's just, it can be really challenging, and it can get really overwhelming really, really quickly. And that's why I've always been like, hey, I go to therapy, y'all.
Same.
I love that.
I
therapy.
go to therapy, and I will tell anybody and everybody, because it shouldn't be a stigma. It should just be the same as like, hey, I have a doctor's appointment. Or like, hey, I'm going to get coffee with a friend.
Yeah.
Or
Mental
something like
health
that.
is exactly the same as diabetes, heart disease, anything like that. It is a disease. So for people to label it as something else is just awful, because so many of us deal with it
Yeah.
every day.
Absolutely.
So,
and it comes in
stop
waves,
labeling.
it gets like better for a while, and then it'll get worse again, and then it'll get better again, and then it might get worse again. It's like a constant cycle. Yeah. I mean, it's something, I don't want to say it's a battle, because I don't like to think of it as something that necessarily we're fighting. I think it's something that we're like learning to live with, and that we're growing with.
yeah, ride the waves instead of trying to swim against them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Accept
absolutely.
it, feel the bad, and then just be like, okay, I'm done feeling the bad now. I did it. I allowed myself to feel that way.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge part of healing as well. It's like letting yourself cry, doing some yoga, exercising,
Going on a walk.
Anything like that. Yeah, going out in nature and grounding and those types of things. Because so many people hold on to those emotions, and emotions are literally stored in your body and then create disease. And it's not fair to yourself. It's not fair to the other people around you.
Yeah.
So to be able to express that is huge, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm doing this therapy right now called EMDR therapy.
Yes.
I've done it in the past before,
Love
and it
it.
served me so well. And
What is it?
it's this therapy where you hold like these two, there's a couple of different ways to do it. So I hold these two things in my hand, in each hand, and they vibrate back and forth. And it's supposed to help stimulate your vagus nerve to help you deal with PTSD or a trauma that's impacting your life in a negative way. And so I've been doing that. I've done it in the past, and it worked miracles for me. And so now I'm doing it again in therapy for a different reason, regarding some experiences that I had in college and how it related to how I was treated by my college and people of authority. And I was talking to my therapist, and I'm like, but these feelings that I have of perfectionism and always wanting to go above and beyond and wanting to, always never be able to relax, those have served me really well.
Right. I know. The thing is, panic mode. Things that are demons are proven to work. It's a terrible thing.
Right. So I'm like, it's hard to let go of that, because not only does it become a comfort after so long, but when it serves you well and you tend to rely on that, I don't want to get rid of it. And she said, no. You're never going to lose that. You can just call on it when you need it. You can pick and choose when it runs your life, or when you need it. You need to call on those skills and those muscles, I guess, to deal with something that you're dealing with. You're not going to like suddenly become lazy or
That's
something.
what happened.
Right.
It's not going to shut off.
I just am gonna, just like, meow.
Light switch off.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think expressing yourself and acknowledging that you're able, like you are doing this, and the first part of it is acknowledgement and understanding that you are the one in control. Like the other day, Vinny got his back leg stuck in his strap of his blanket, and it was these.
Vinny is a horse.
Oh yeah, Vinny is my horse. I just talk about him like he's my child. He got his back leg stuck in his strap of his blanket, and I just watched him continually fall over like 4 different times, and it was fine. He wasn't injured. He broke out in hives from brushing up against the blanket or anxiety.
Yeah, stress.
stress.
At Jessica.
But afterwards, I sat in my car, drove a little distance so nobody could see me, and allowed myself to start hyperventilating for 10 minutes. I just sobbed.
Yeah.
And then
10-minute panic
You
attack.
have to let
panic attack.
yourself go
Yeah.
through those things. You have to, because if you try to sit there and suppress it, that's when it becomes a problem.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
you have to cry, you have to scream, you have to throw things, or, you know, whatever you have to do to get out of that and to release it from your body. It's so important.
Yeah.
I literally will, when I'm feeling really overwhelmed or feeling like, because I have a hard time expressing emotions physically. I just like, I don't know. I grew up in a family that was very, not that they were like, you can't express your emotions, but we just didn't. Like, I just didn't cry. I don't know. I don't cry. And when I feel like
cry
I
all
need
the
to cry, that's because you're a
Every
freaking
day.
Cancer.
I'm a Cancer.
I'm a Taurus, so I don't cry. Same with Jeff,
Also,
same with Steph.
Taurus.
I will literally make myself, I will watch like sad movies so that I can cry, so that I can start the flow, so that I can get it out, because
Yeah.
otherwise I just sit there and it gets worse and worse and worse. And then I have a full breakdown and call my dad and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I can't have this job. I gotta go home. And he's like, oh, okay. And yeah, so if I will like help myself through that, or like listening to some music that makes me feel emotional, or just like I have to like sometimes make myself sit in it.
Yeah.
Have
My
you-
body will be
well,
like, no.
Have you ever gone through something so emotional that you can't listen to music or watch movies? Like, I remember I was going through a breakup one time and I was so emotional about it. I couldn't listen to music for 6 months.
Oh my gosh.
I very much am a like, I like to distract myself from the things I like to distract myself as well.
As she
from the
sings.
Yeah, with music. With music.
As I'm singing
But
because I'm
that's the
uncomfortable.
thing is that so many people, there's so many ways to deal with
To
it.
cope, yeah.
You know, you just have to
absolutely.
find your way.
Yeah.
Your way of doing it, because there's a way for you.
Mhm.
You know, everybody. So, you know, and I think of emotions as, you know, or if you're not releasing them, it's kind of like taking a bunch of beach balls. Oh my gosh, I'm sad here, and trying to push it underwater. Oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed over here and trying to push it underwater. And you have all these emotions that you're trying to suppress. And then all of a sudden, if you don't,
They all come
they
up.
just all pop up and hit you in the face.
That's such a good
You know, it's like,
analogy.
Yeah.
you know, that's why it's important to deal with it immediately.
Mhm.
Immediately. You know, I've had way too many meltdowns because I've always suppressed things. And that comes from my childhood. You know,
Yeah.
my mom, she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder plus multiple personality disorder. And that happened when I was 10. And, you know, I hate to, you know, put my family out there like this, but at the same time, a lot of us deal with this. You know, my dad didn't know how to deal with it. So he started working a lot. He would come home, shut the door, and didn't deal with it. So when I was asking for help, there
Oh my
was no
God.
help, you know?
Yeah.
This is very sensitive for me, and I'm sorry. So it's okay to talk about. It's okay to get it out.
It is.
Yeah. Let it
absolutely.
out, girl. Stop
Yes.
holding it in.
Yeah, don't
This
hold
podcast-
it.
This is what I mean. Yeah, you have to get it out,
Yes.
you know?
There's a hug happening. And this podcast is about that.
Yeah.
It's raw, or it's not, I forgot our slogan,
and it's about
right?
supporting each other.
Yeah.
It's a little bit risky.
Yeah, a little bit risky.
And I'm the crier because I'm a Cancer.
That doesn't help.
No.
But absolutely. And that's where, you know, the therapy you're doing with your therapist is, I am talking to my therapist about doing that as well, because it helps your brain kind of look at those situations.
Yeah.
And from a perspective of myself, it'll help me look at situations and be like, you're not at fault for that. Rewire your emotions
Right.
so you can actually logically understand that it is not your fault, or that
Yeah.
you were just a child. You were 10 years old.
Mhm.
You were just a little babe,
Yeah.
you know? A wee
Definitely.
babe. A
Little
wee
babe.
babe. A wee babe.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of the things that Jess and I like bonded on really quickly, because my mom was diagnosed bipolar and with depression.
Yeah.
And I fully remember a time when she couldn't get out of bed and like go to school because of it. Sorry, Mom, to be exposing you. I love you so much.
Love you so much, Mom.
I love you so much, Mom. And my dad, because they both watch this on the TV.
On the TV.
But yeah, I mean, we talked about that, just that feeling of like, you know,
What do you do? What do you do?
Yeah, like what do you do?
And then
and I
later
would just
on
try
in
to
life,
help her. Like I would just try to like, you know, I like brought her some water because when I was sick, when I was a kid and I was sick, she would bring me water and like a snack, you know, because she'd be like, eat something, stay hydrated. So I'd be like, I remember being like, oh, I guess she can't get out of bed. She must be sick. I'll just bring her water.
Yeah.
You know, like I guess that would make you better.
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, I mean, everybody goes through times, but because of that, you know, I have been so conscious, or tried to be so conscious of my own mental health and where I am, because I'm in my early 20s, which is when a lot of people get diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And I am just like always, I will write down like possible bipolar episode. It's just because I drank too much coffee. But
Back to the day you told me to stop drinking coffee and energy drinks.
Yeah, because that will make you feel like you're having a manic episode.
Yep. And I felt like I was.
Yeah, fully.
I called Annie and I was like, Annie.
Yeah, I was like, stop drinking caffeine and you will feel better. Or like switch up your routine, drink different caffeine or something. But
tea.
yeah,
Tea.
exactly.
It's a good one.
And
good
I
one.
don't know. I
Just a
don't
cup
really
of
know where
coffee.
this is going, what I'm saying. But
Well, I think that a lot of people don't even realize these things until they're adults.
Yeah.
You know, dealing with it with either like your parents or maybe somebody that you know or whatnot. It starts coming into your life when you start getting older and you're like, why am I like this? Why do I do this? Why do I not talk about my feelings? Why do I not express what I need to express? Throat chakra, blockage. Sorry.
I got my
I know. I get
stones.
yes.
I have some throat chakra issues. We're working on them.
We're
It's
working
fine.
on them. Yes, chrysocolla for anyone that needs to know.
Yes.
That is the
I
stone
need
to
to
never
get
use.
some Reiki done on myself.
Yes, Reiki too. Reiki is
Because-
beautiful and
wow.
amazing. Yes.
I need you to guide me. on
But
this,
you
though.
know, it doesn't come on until later on in life, and so I know for me personally, I just started realizing this stuff maybe a year and a half ago. So I'm still trying to heal from it, and that's why I still cry about it, and you know that kind of stuff. But just to be able to recognize it, like you said, that's the first step. You know, and then moving forward, what do I need to do? What do I need to do to fix this, to heal this? You know, there's so many options. So many.
And on that subject too, recognition of, as a society, especially women, we hold these emotions to ourselves
Mhm.
and we also beat ourselves up over it. So like, for
Every day.
instance, you know, blaming yourself for your mom not getting out of bed in the morning and having to bring her water. You were just a little kid.
Right.
You didn't understand what was happening. You were just trying to make her feel better and you couldn't in that moment. And that reflects to us day to day. Like, for instance, changing your mental thoughts of I'm beautiful, I'm amazing, I'm strong, I'm powerful, I can do this today, you know? And I didn't start that until this year. I actually love Heather Wilson Roller. Shout out. I came to her a complete mess. Just had gone through a breakup. He broke up with me because he wasn't physically attracted to me because I had too flat of an ass and no boobs.
You should send him to me. I will show him
that's
what
scary.
a flat ass and no boobs can really do to somebody.
Love it.
It will hurt him.
Nervous laughs.
Nervous laughs.
Yes. So, and then Vinny almost dying on top of being laid off, and I had a neck injury, and I had no self-esteem. So this just mess of a woman came to her, and she's just like, well, step 1, ride her horse. Step 2, boost her self-image. And I was standing, I remember it so clearly. I was standing in the entrance of her aisle and I had forgotten something due to my neck injury, have memory issues from brain concussions and such. And so I had forgotten something for her. And I said, wow, I hate myself. That woman threw a brush at me and told me
Good
to
for her.
redirect
Sorry.
my mentality.
Good for her.
She's like, you will never say that in front of me again.
Never.
And I was like,
Anna, my friend, does the same stuff to me.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
when I
yeah.
came from Kentucky from just a whole situation that I don't really feel comfortable going into, I was also, my self-esteem was the lowest it's ever been in my entire life. I was always a very like outgoing and like confident person and happy person. And I was not. I was like, I feel fat, which is ridiculous. And when I came here and started living with her, she was always very adamant. I would be like, oh, I don't know how I look in this, or like, oh my gosh, I called myself a dumbass all the time. And she was like, stop it.
Yeah.
Why? Why are you saying those things? Why are you like this? Why are you doing that? And I was like, I don't know. It's just the narrative in my head.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Change that
Self-hate
shit.
is so toxic
Yeah.
from
Mhm.
other people too.
Because
you
it
know?
feeds onto you.
And that's another thing is so important to recognize that in other people as well, to spread the love and let them know that they're fine the way that they are.
Yeah.
You know,
Be the
they are
champion for
perfect the
them.
way that they are, and they
Exactly.
can do anything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, when you see someone like that, encourage them and be the light in their life so that they can pass that on to other people. That's how you change the world,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
one
And
person at a time.
It
Yeah.
starts in your friend groups.
Absolutely.
You know, the other day I knew you were feeling down, so I just texted you and I was like, hey, you're amazing.
That
You're
was so
great.
nice.
Yes.
You're doing a fantastic job.
That
I
was so
started to
nice.
do that
Good.
too. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you.
Yeah.
That's why, I mean, like, I feel so fortunate to have this group that's sitting here, because I feel like y'all are my tribe. Y'all are like,
Yes.
we
Yes.
all get each other, and we're all so unique in our own ways, but at the same time, like, so accepting of one another. We feed off of each other's positive energy,
Mhm.
are there for one another, you know, when you're feeling down and stuff like that, like you mentioned. That's so hard to find,
Mhm.
not just in regular life with friends, because let's be serious, it's really hard to make friends.
It is. It is.
But also
hard.
in your work life, like, how fortunate and lucky.
Right.
I
Because,
feel so
yeah,
grateful
work
all
is
the time.
our life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our life.
Yeah, I don't
Good
remember.
transition time.
Yeah, transition time, because this is huge. This is something that we've all gone through, is mental health in this industry, the
Yes.
service industry,
Yeah.
Yes.
and how customers treat you or treat us. You know,
Mhm.
this is a
Treat this
huge
company.
topic.
Yes.
Huge topic.
Yeah.
And I know I can
So-
speak for all of us that when someone says something or, you know, we get a message, all of our hearts sink.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
instantly.
beat
Yeah.
ourselves
Y'all
up
send
over
us
it.
those at like 10 p.m. at night. We see them. All of us, we send in a group chat and we're like, look at this shit. And then we cry.
And then I'm
together.
crying.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm-
And then we
It
can't
I
really-
cry so much over
Yeah,
it.
I do
because
too.
It hurts so
Yeah.
much when people are like bashing us about something so small, when every single day we're trying so hard,
and
Mhm.
working.
so
hard.
hard to make you happy.
Yes.
That's what we're doing. We're not trying to make us happy. We're trying to make you
That's
happy.
what we want. This is just like, we're trying to bring joy to people. I mean,
Absolutely.
That's why I
Cookies.
get up every day.
Yes, it's cookies.
It's cookies. Like,
It's
that's our-
cookies.
And it's cute and it's like fun
and
colors.
it's so fun, and we have so much fun. It makes us so happy. We want to make everybody happy, and
Yeah.
we've had some experiences and some comments that, you know, there is a difference between somebody that had an actual really bad experience,
Mhm.
and then they come to us directly and they're like, hey, this wasn't cool, or this happened,
Mhm.
wanted to let you know, like, this just isn't cool. So we can handle that directly, make it right with the customer, create a good relationship.
Which is
And
what
take
we
it back
always
to our
want to do.
team. and learn
make
and grow
better.
from it.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And that allows our team members to grow,
Mhm.
to learn. But when people go out of their way to try and hurt small business or hurt people on the internet specifically,
Mm.
that I just cannot get behind under any circumstances whatsoever. There is no reason for it ever. We've had some extraordinarily bad experiences with that over the summer with our restaurant. And there was a woman that we had a COVID case, and so we shut down the restaurant while we got everybody tested and cleaned and all of that good stuff. She tore us apart on social media. absolutely tore us apart to the point where I was like, I am going to do something really bad. And then I was like, but I'm not going to do it tonight because I have to do a wedding tomorrow and I can't disappoint them by not being there.
Because that's the type of person you are. Because
that's
you
serving
want to
people.
make
And I was
people
like, okay, well, I'll
happy.
do it after the wedding. And then other things like that happen where we got bad reviews or comments or what have you with the cookies. And I would go upstairs and cry and bawl.
yeah.
And I would tell my husband, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here anymore. I can't do this. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And it got completely out of control, and it was always triggered, and it spun out of control due to these comments. And because it became so acceptable, especially in the world of COVID, I think, where everybody has this opinion on masks and people that want to be open versus don't want to be open, and everybody's fighting about it, and they're taking it out on us. Small
On the
business
businesses.
who are already struggling.
Yeah, literally just trying to like
survive. Yeah.
Yeah.
And employ all of the people that we employ. We're trying to
Right.
give them opportunities in life.
and give them a safe work environment.
Absolutely. So it's really hard. It's not okay. And I've spoke about this before. There's a reason why the service industry and the restaurant industry has such really high levels of mental health issues and substance abuse.
Mhm.
And this is the reason why, because people have a bad experience, or maybe their burger wasn't cooked to the right temperature, or
We were out of one of the cookies that they
yes,
wanted.
absolutely. So then they write a review on us on Facebook that impacts our bottom line, impacts how much money we make. What if you made a mistake at work, an honest mistake, a typo, something like that, and your boss docked your pay because of it? Said, well, you're not going to get paid as much, because that's what you're doing.
That's
to
literally
us.
what you're doing to us, and then
Yeah.
spreading it to other people so that they don't come to us. That's
Yeah.
it's not fair. We are people too.
Yeah.
I'm a mother. You're a sister. You're a daughter. We're all somebody.
Yes,
We are not just robots.
exactly.
We have feelings, we have emotions, and we are only trying to create the best experience for everyone.
And
So-
we're a young business that's growing really fast. And I think I've had some people who will either, if I'm like calling them, trying to, talk through something or like talk through a complaint or something, and they will say things like, this is a really bad way to start a business in regards to like especially with shipping, like they lost a box didn't get delivered, and I'm like trying to help them resolve that. And I'm saying like, I can give you a discount code. I can like refund half of you, but we've already spent the money.
Mhm.
I know your box was shipped. Like I can only do so much before it becomes like if I give everybody refunds, if FedEx
Well, we have
loses a
to
ton
survive.
of boxes, like
Yeah.
we have to survive. And people will say stuff like, this is a really bad way to start a business. And I'm like,
Just awful things.
what? Like,
Just
yeah.
awful things.
in
to
what
us.
way?
Yeah.
Like why?
Which, by
how
the
could you
way,
say that to me.
if FedEx loses a box, we still have to pay for that. So just so everybody
We
knows,
still, yeah.
there is we have FedEx, UPS, and USPS that are the main carriers, right? Well, they lose boxes all the time. Obviously, shipping has been a huge issue and has increased
for everybody,
everyone,
not just
not
us,
just us.
by the way. Just so
well,
everyone
if
knows.
they lose a box, or if they mess up a box, we've had them like destroy boxes before, or lose a box temporarily. It's 2 weeks late. The cookies aren't good anymore. That is still on us.
yeah,
So just so everybody knows that somebody should be holding these companies accountable.
yeah.
Just going to put that out there.
Sorry, sorry, not sorry, FedEx.
But these are the things that we deal with. But this is just across the board in the service industry, whether they're working, if they're a barista, or they're a server, or a bartender, or one of the people in our company that's behind the bakery counter. I think what people need to like really think about, check your heart first. Think about the things that you're going to say, and make sure that your actions and reactions are made of love. Think about what you're going to say before you say it, because you don't know what anybody else is going through.
Yeah. Make sure
You have
you're
no
ready
idea.
to accept the consequences of your words and actions. I think with this whole internet thing, which has been around for forever. So I don't know why I was like internet thing, but with the internet and with, especially, I'm going to bring it in, cancel culture. There's this whole like idea, or not even idea. It's just the way that people live now is that their words don't hold any actions or any like consequences. And they affect the people that you're saying them about, the people you're saying it to, like,
and the people around that are listening.
yeah,
it's just
your
sending
followers,
off a bad
your
vibe.
family members, your friends who see you saying these things. It's affecting other people, and it's just like the accountability is like,
yeah,
it's a sad.
I agree. Yeah, can't tell you how many times we've had issues where somebody loses their job because of poor performance or not showing up to work or whatever, and then all of a sudden the whole internet wants to cancel us.
Yeah.
Because everybody, sides with them. That is really hard to deal with. And I think that having to deal with that so often over the past 10, 15 years, however long we've been doing this, it just wears on you, and it builds and it builds and it builds. And for me personally, dealing with COVID and that whole mess, dealing with that happening over and over and over, it eventually just got to a point where it was too much for me to handle, and I couldn't do it anymore paired with everything else. And people need to understand that we're human beings. This is not okay to say to anybody. Behind the businesses are human beings. You're listening or watching them right now. And that goes for no matter what business that it is. Every single business that is huge started out just like this.
Yep.
Of people sitting on a couch with an idea and with passion. I just don't understand how we got to this point and why nobody said anything or talked about it enough. But if you we go back to the basics, right? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Be a nice human.
There's a difference between being constructive and trying to make like a business better and the best they can be, and just trashing and ruining people's lives. Literally. Like ruining people's mental health. It's an issue.
Absolutely.
And it sits so heavily on us.
Yeah.
And we work. I mean, I seriously haven't.
So personally.
Yeah. I seriously haven't had a day off, and I don't remember. At least 2 months. And like 2 nights ago, I woke up in a dog bed on the floor because I was having an anxiety dream.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure like my subconscious was like, need to go see Fluffy Butt to feel better.
Fluffy Butt.
That's what I call Kyra. Need to go see Fluffy Butt. And I like woke up at 1 a.m. on the floor. And that is truly because of work-life balance and just letting the negativity affect me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I said it earlier and we were talking about this before we started recording. On Sunday, well, I guess Monday morning, but Sundays are my biggest anxiety days. It's just the lead up to the week. I just know because shipping starts on Monday, there's always going to be a lot of like stuff that needs to happen and things, and it's just really stressful for me. And Sunday night, I just like I had a really hard time falling asleep. And then when I did fall asleep, I was dreaming about work so vividly. It felt like I was just laying in bed, spiraling in my head like I do when I can't sleep. Yeah. That's how it felt, but I was dreaming. And so I was awoken by a friend who like texted me at a ridiculous hour in the morning. And I was like, oh my God, am I still awake? It's 3 a.m. Was I just awake for that whole time? And I wasn't, thank God I got a little bit of sleep, but it's just like affects your subconscious so heavily, you can't run away from it. There's no
shut it off. It's so hard to shut off.
You can't shut it off.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
But to balance that out, especially I started a therapy journey recently. I went to therapy all my entire childhood just because of like my mom's mental health. She wanted to make sure that I was, taken care of and like talking about things, and it was great. But then I kind of stopped doing therapy for a while, and just within the past month I was like, okay, after Valentine's Day was chaos, and I had a heavy breakdown, and I was like, okay, I need to take care of myself.
So important.
Yeah, so I started going to therapy, and we've been working a lot on, like I love to work. That's the thing, is that it's not like I don't love to do this. I'm not like being forced to work like 50, 60 hours a week. I literally do it because I can't stop. I'm like, yes.
Same.
But
Same.
she was like, okay, it's okay to do that. You can have like hours, like many hours, like, you know, certain days where you work like 10, 12 hours. You know, if you want to have days where you do that, if that's up to you. But then you need to have days where you only work 5 hours or, you know,
Or 1 hour.
or 1 hour. On a
Or
Saturday.
no hours.
No hours, you know, days off are nice.
Wait,
but
what's that?
I know, right?
If I work 1 or 2 hours and then I go see my horse, I'm like, wow.
I like had a day off.
I know,
This
right?
is a day off.
Yeah. Finding the balance is hard, but
No.
and I've been just kind of trying to track my hours so that I can be like, okay, this week, the beginning of the week was way too much for you. You need to make sure that you know, compromise in other areas.
Mhm.
You know, making sure that I'm like also making sure that I'm going to like see my friend Anna, so that because she's a really positive like person in my life, and I get a lot of positivity from that, and
Anna's
making sure that
great.
I'm going for
Yes.
walks and like
Mhm.
you know, making sure that I have my time in the morning. Steph, I think you also really believe in this.
I do.
Time in the morning is like
Yes.
Oh,
set your day up,
absolutely.
Yes.
especially when you work for a bakery, because they're already in. People are already texting you at 7 a.m. being
Oh,
like, "There's
literally.
things.
Yep.
These are these
Mhm.
things."
Yep.
So it's important to have that time to do
Yes.
the things you need to do for yourself.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
wake up really
also
early.
and it's also
Mhm.
starting the day off right
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
I've talked to you about this.
Mhm.
This is a morning ritual for me personally. Is I wake up every morning, and as soon as I open my eyes, I think about all the things that I'm grateful for.
Mhm.
You know, that is the first thing I do.
Yeah.
What am I grateful for today?
Right.
What do I have to look forward to? And what am I going to accomplish?
Yeah.
You
I
know,
think
and it
that's-
just starts off just great.
Absolutely. And I think that's such a good point, because people are always asking, and there's all kinds of articles all over the internet. How do I find work-life balance? How do I fix my brain? You know, how do I?
There's no fixing her.
Fix
Sorry,
what
honey.
brain?
Yeah. How do I do all this? And people are trying too hard, I think.
Yeah.
It's, Can
It's the
like
simple things.
simple things. So sometimes consistency for you could mean boredom. For me, it means comfort, because I like a routine and I like consistency.
Mm-hmm.
But it's different for everybody. So know yourself and know what you prefer. I also really enjoy running and spending time outside
Yes.
between running and my horse. So that is a huge part of my routine, is being outdoors and running, being outside, seeing all the wildlife, because I'm a huge animal lover. I see.
We are big animal people here.
Yes. I see
fluffy bug.
so much floof.
Yeah, because my cat is fluffy, so it's like
Oh,
we just
see?
all have
Lots of floof.
There's lots of floofs.
Yeah.
My kids have really fluffy hair.
They do.
So, you know, all the afros going on.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes. Yeah. It means a lot to me to be able to go outside and I watch the sunrise. And that's so beautiful for me.
Ugh.
And I start to think, I am so lucky to be here. And it really changes your mindset. That's not discounting professional therapy or medication,
Right.
because both of those things have worked wonders for me. And I could not have gotten to that brain space of feeling grateful and of feeling those types of things without that assistance.
Mhm.
So it's
but shifting perspective is
Mhm.
huge. You know, that's a huge start.
Yes.
It's just a little tweak, you know, okay. The sunrise is absolutely beautiful this morning. You know, just something so simple and so small like that.
Yeah.
Along with, you know, your other things like therapy or yoga or meditation or riding your horses. You know, there's so many things, but it all starts in the mind.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Something my mom told me when I was really young, and I still think about this all the time, is I would get really angry or really upset about something, and she would be like, "You can decide how you respond to this."
Mhm.
She was like,
That's so
"You,
powerful.
yeah," and it's so true. I mean, think about, there will be one day where I'm so stressed and I'm so overwhelmed, and I respond to something by exploding or by just like blubbering because I can't make words. My brain's moving too fast, and then the next day I will have a better mindset, have taken the time to make myself feel better, and I'll respond to it calmly and just be like, okay, I'm going to fix it. You know, it's all about like how you perceive things and how you are. Well, I guess it's not all about how you perceive things. I don't want to say that because I do fully know and personally that there are certain things and times in your mental health journey where you have no control, but you have to take steps to regain that control. And you can regain it. You just,
Absolutely.
There's ways that you can regain it, but it takes a lot of effort and it takes a lot of time.
And self-love.
Yeah. And a lot of self-love. Being able to love myself.
Everybody deserves that.
Yeah.
Everyone deserves everything.
It's a corgi love too.
We have a corgi here.
For those of you listening and not watching, Mabel is here. She's a corgi, and she's very sweet, but she's very naughty.
She
Very
says,
naughty,
no, I'm
but
not
she's
naughty.
so cute, though.
She's licking
So cute. Miss the microphone.
That's a naughty fluffy bag.
We do all, I think, really rely a lot on the animals and people in our lives.
Yeah.
The four of us, I feel like for sure, to help us cope with things. I mean,
Oh my gosh. The day that I found out Vinny was dying, I passed out twice. One when I was driving and I woke up on the side of the road.
that's really unsafe.
And that is the day I realized how much I depend on him for my emotional sanity.
Yes.
Which maybe isn't super healthy.
No, it's not.
Here's another thing. Is you have to kind of, everything in life, everything in mental health is about healthy limits and
balance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yin and
It's okay
yang.
to be, we all know, very codependent on my best friend, whom I love and see almost every day.
Shout out to Anna.
Shout out to Anna again. But I can also go home and just spend time with myself and spend a whole day with myself and be okay,
Yeah.
There's the
And then on the
balance there.
flip side, ultra independence is also very unhealthy.
Yeah, and
you
I've
don't
been there
have to
too.
do everything by yourself.
No, and
Yes.
You don't.
So
You know.
sorry to everybody who that affects in my life, especially my work people.
I am the opposite, the ultra independent.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do see that in you for sure.
Yeah. It can be a thing.
But that's
So,
okay because you recognize
I
it.
do. So I'm
Yeah,
trying
and then I'm over
better
here and I'm
with
like,
the
hey, we need to
delegation.
meet because
Yes.
I don't know what's happening.
For sure.
I know. I just
Yeah.
Yeah.
but you have to be open to the help.
Singing.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
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 No, definitely. Sorry, Jess.
No, you're
corgi was
fine.
distracting me.
No, it's all good.
No, absolutely. And I think that's why we decided to come together as Confessions of a Queen, because we need to talk about this stuff. We need to talk about how you are
Yes.
more independent and how, Annie has Anna in her life. And so that's why I wanted to start this podcast, because we are all so honest with each other and
Yes.
we get along so well. And when we meet, mostly when I'm in town talking about marketing with them, we talk about this stuff.
Oh,
We talk 10%
Yeah.
about marketing, and then the rest of it is these conversations.
Yeah,
And so
I
we
mean-
want to share them with you.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And-
And I think that it really keeps us healthy too, because we know that we're not the only ones struggling with it personally.
Absolutely.
To know that there are other people that struggle with this, that alone brings so much comfort.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
So
So, yeah. But wrapping up the conversation, this is our second episode of Confessions of a Queen. In the post, we will have several numbers listed about, if you are needing help or you're feeling lost, call those numbers. Seriously, do not
there's
wait.
a texting
There's
one
a
now.
texting number as well, which is a lot of people don't feel comfortable talking on the phone, especially in this day and age.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a texting number as well.
So those will be listed because we love you all and we really care about everyone's
And it's
mental
so
health.
important.
It's so important.
Mhm.
I
Take
hope
care
that
of
this was
yourself.
able to help even just one person a teeny bit,
Yes.
because I know that there's been so many times in my life where I've felt so lost, and there's been, just
You
nobody
feel
to
like
help
there's
me.
no one, but there is.
Yeah, but there is always.
Don't
you
ever
can-
hesitate to reach out to
Right.
me personally.
100%.
I don't want to speak for you guys, but I'm sure that you would be okay with
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
All
day.
if you ever need to talk or you have questions about our experiences.
Or therapy.
Yes, absolutely.
We are not
all day.
licensed. We are here as friends.
Yes.
Preface that.
Yeah, we are not therapists. That's
No,
none of
no,
us are licensed. All of this is just our own personal experience and knowledge. We don't.
Just suggestions.
We can
Yeah.
point you in the right direction, though.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and to wrap it up, so we are ending our episode 2 of Confessions of a Queen. Thank you so much for watching, listening, and following us on this journey. If you feel so pushed or swayed, feel free to share, comment, let us know if you have any suggestions.
Yeah, suggestions. We want to know what
suggestions are
you want to hear about.
Absolutely. Yeah, because this is a journey, and this is, we want to bring you in on this environment that we have. You know, the queendom is not just for the cookie queens, it's for everybody listening.
Yeah,
And whether you're a
absolutely.
king, a queen, you know, we're here to support you. Episode 3 will most likely tune in for that. It'll most likely be about exes and or ex friendships. So that'll be a good one.
Relationships.
Yeah, breakups.
Yes.
So, and again,
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for
peace.
listening,
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
Peace out.
Bye.